Hi! I've decided to do a lot more general gardening videos and not just stay with my potato growing. A few people have said that they'd be interested in seeing all sorts of general videos and answer some questions, do some experiments. So this is the first of my series on my channel of videos that I think will be helpful to people. Today we're going to look at how to make bed covers, shade cloth bed covers for your vegetables. With our summers getting hotter every year, maybe not this year because we're going into an El Niño, which means our summer may be a bit cooler than it has been, but for generally our vegetables just haven't been adapted and grown to grow in the 35, 40, 45 degrees that we're getting now in our summers. And when you grow them under shade, they do so much better. They grow quicker, they grow healthier, and they don't use up as much water. So today I'm going to go through all the stages in making bed covers for your garden. These covers can be used for your green vegetables like lettuces, fast growing greens like bok choy, melons, even tomatoes, capsicums. Lots of vegetables really like a bit of shade in our summers now. You'll really be amazed at the difference if you try this. Okay, here are the things you're going to need to make your bed covers. First of all, you're going to need 1-inch poly pipe. I did start off using 3/4 inch, which is this thinner one, but I found that in the hot weather it gets so soft that it bends far too easily. Now you can buy rolls, or often they'll cut it, but you can buy lengths of this poly pipe. It's the blue stripe one for agricultural use. You can buy them at farm stores, farm supply stores, agricultural supply stores. You can buy them in 200 metre rolls, and as I said, sometimes they'll cut to length. And you can use a hacksaw to cut them into lengths of around 2 to 2.5 metres, depending on how high you want the bed covers to be. These are just under 2.5 metres long. So to make one cover for a 4-metre bed, you'll need 5 lengths. Next, you'll need to buy or find some way of holding those hoops into the ground. What I use is lengths of sheep panelling. They come in lengths of about, I don't know, 5 or 6 metres and 1 metre tall, and I use, excuse my old bolt cutters, I use bolt cutters to cut them up into these spikes. They look like just sort of crosses, and you put them in the ground. I'll show you later, of course, but these go into the ground. The crossbar helps it not sink into the ground too far, and your hoops will go over those to keep them in place. Rightio, so you will need 10 of those, 2 for each hoop. Next you'll need shade cloth. So hold on, I've got to go and get the shade cloth. Now the colour of the shade cloth doesn't matter, but I use 50% shade cloth. You don't need higher percentage than that, it's just to keep most of the heat and sun off. So 50% shade cloth, and for one bed cover, a 4-metre bed, you need 4 metres of shade cloth. Next, you can buy those at Bunnings or at I buy mine in entire rolls on eBay, or there are other sites selling shade cloth in rolls. But so next you will need stainless steel 25 or 30 millimetre curtain rings. I'll just show them a bit closer. These curtain rings, you need the ones that have not the key rings, because they need to have this little flat bit that doesn't go straight onto the, well, you can lift them off easily. So these curtain rings, I get them off eBay in packets of 100, I think. But it's been a long time since I've bought them, so I don't know if the lady's still selling them. But try and get those. Try not to get the coated ones, just the pure stainless steel ones. They take a lot longer to rust. Okay. Next you need 2 or 3 clips. This clips the shade cloth onto the hoops. And for your 1-inch poly pipe, you get 25 millimetre clips. They come in 2 sorts. They come in, you can buy these on eBay. There's 2 sorts. There's these simple ones and these longer, heavier duty ones. The simple ones are just fine. They're easier to take on and off. But the heavy duty ones, the harder ones, stand up to wind more. And when you've got the shade cloth on your hoops, you just clip them down like that, and it keeps the shade cloth in place. Whoa! So now we'll get down to actually making the shade cloth covers. Now the first thing we do to make these shade cloth covers is to get your shade cloth and to put your curtain rings in. This piece has already been used, it's very old. The curtain rings are rusty. But you can see you just hook them into the shade cloth. On the ends I do 4 on the ends to keep those in place over the end hoops. And then every metre, remember this is a 4-metre bed, so every metre you put one here and one here. So on each edge, every 4 metres, you've got a curtain hook. Look, I do find that to keep them neat and tidy on the hoops, it's handy to actually put one in the middle as well. You just get your curtain hook and you hook it through the shade cloth. Whoops, now it's not going to do it for me. And run it around, and you can see it's just hooked like that. So you do that all along 1 metre, 1 metre, 1 metre, and the other end where we have 4 down the sides. So now that we've got our 5 hoops, our piece of shade cloth, I'll show you, and our 10 spikes, which You can use any sort of thing as spikes as long as it's hard and the hoops can go over them. Anyway, so I'll show you how to actually put it up. Really simple to put up and to take down. So we start off with one side, putting our spikes in the ground every metre. 1, 2, 3, 5, and we do to the same on the other side of the bed. I have my beds around 90 centimetres wide, but anyway, so I'll put them about 1 metre wide, or maybe a little bit more. So now that our spikes are in the ground, we're just going to pop our hoops over the spikes. Really simple to do. Gravel in the ground here, so my spike hasn't gone down far enough, but anyway. Now we're going to put our piece of shade cloth on the side. Curtain rings on the inside, and now we're going to thread them onto the hoops. Really simple to do. Your spikes are not in the right spot, then just lift it out and put it in the right spot. Once you've done one of these, it gets really quick and easy to do more of them. So now your bed cover is almost ready. So we just take the shade cloth and run hoops. Since these curtain rings are just a bit rusty now, it takes a bit more getting over the hoops. Put him back in his ring. And now we just get our clips and clip it over some of these hoops. You don't have to clip it on all of them. You might want to just clip it like that. Now that's all done. Now the problem is if you're in a windy area, the wind can take that away. So what you need to do then is get two either steel posts or long tomato droppers and a hammer. Sharp end first. And hammer them in at each end to keep them secure. Keep it nice and tight. Hammer them in a little bit more than I just did, but you get the point. And then you've got some nice shade for your vegetables. If you want to do some weeding, all you need to do is just lift it up, hop under there and do some weeding. Now they're really easy to take down, and if you want to do some work on your beds, like some digging or something, it's really easy just to Take your tomato stacks out. Take them off one end. Just clean them over like that. You can work on your bed. And then when you're finished, just pop them back. I really should tell you though, whenever you haven't got your hoops on your pegs, take them out. Even if you're just working on your bed for a little while. You can imagine what would happen if somebody tripped and fell on these while they're sticking up out of the ground. But anyway, so it's really easy, just pop them back in. Simple as. On my vegetable farm, I use these for many vegetables. Made a huge difference. If you want to move the whole bed cover, all you need to do is just walk along, pick up the hoops off the spikes like this. You can take them to another bed or to store them. Really, really simple. Something that anybody can do at home. look, there is a cost in the setting up of this, although you can sometimes find free shade cloth on Facebook or something, people giving it away. But once you've got all the equipment, all the things you need, they last for years and years. So it really is worth putting some money in and getting it all set up properly. So now I'm just going to take out all the pegs. Don't want anyone to have an accident. And there we are. There's how to make a good shade cloth cover for your garden beds for growing your vegetables. I've also used these just for growing seedlings under as well. And there you have it. Now you can go and make a shade cloth cover for your garden beds and have the healthiest, fastest growing summer vegetables that you can. Keep in mind that with those shade cloth covers, you can always pull the shade cloth up over on the hottest days, and if you get cool or cloudy days, you can always take off the clips and just run it back down the hoops. So you don't have to have it on your vegetables all the time. It doesn't really matter in summer, but sometimes you might like to give them just a little bit more light occasionally, and it's easy for you to do that.